Sports Center.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the DFL show. As you might have noticed, we are on a new channel. Disney has purchased us for about $20 and we are now syndicated to Sports Center. Thanks to the producers and everyone who made it happen. I'm excited to embark on this journey with everybody. Thank you. And thanks to the producers for this new set as well. This week I want to try a new format because I think there's 3 stories that deserve to be talked about more than just a normal game recap. These are Simon's 3 big things. The first thing is Deezware's improbable wins this week. Noah and I both were going up Cooper and Patrick, who hadn't lost yet, and the probabilities for both were pretty low. But both of us got the win. There's no more undefeated teams in the entire league. Noah, to start things out, scored 122 points, which is his best, I think, so far. CJ Stroud balled out. They killed the Ravens, who have a horrible defense. If you have anybody playing the Ravens defense, you might just get free points, especially the wide receivers. Their pass defense is horrible. Even with Noah having no help from his running backs at all, he had to start Ollie Gordon, who had negative 0.2 points this week because both his best running backs were on bye. He still won. Lad McConkey woke up, he had a normal game, and Mika Egbuka continues to be one of the best wide receivers in the whole league. He had a touchdown and over 100 yards. He had 27 points. He also picked up Theo Johnson, the tight end for the New York Giants, who ended up getting a touchdown, 18 points total. So Noah just had a good week. He's up to 3-2 now. That's huge. Me, other half of Deezware, did great too. I didn't have a good chance at all of beating Cooper, and there were some close touch and go situations where I could have or could have not gotten touchdowns, but it worked out. I think the biggest reason I won is Rico Dowdle was a waiver pickup I had last Wednesday because Chuba Hubbard is injured. So he was going to start for the Panthers, and I was just hoping he did something. He did a lot. He scored 30 points and basically won me the week. I only beat Cooper by I beat Cooper by 20 points. So if he got 10 points, I would have lost. He got 30. So I creamed it. I got 108. Rico Dowdle had 2 touchdowns and was there every single snap, just a million scrimmage yards. Devontae Smith also woke up for the first time. Those were basically the 2 reasons I won. He got a ton of yards as well. Devontae Smith has been asleep. The Deezware, a little bit of Deezware magic, I guess. We're both alive, and there's a 4-way tie for the top of the standings now. There's 4 people, 4-1. Patrick, Cooper, Gretchen, and Tristan. So, you know, top 6 people get in the playoffs. The playoff picture is basically a dead heat in the early part of the season. So, I think that's a big deal. The next big thing I want to go over is Gretchen's nail-biting victory in Monday Night Football. Going into the Chiefs-Jaguars game, Gretchen had a 3-point lead and Taylor had ETN to play, and Gretchen had Xavier Worthy. So it was kind of a toss-up. Anything could happen at that point. But if you weren't watching the game, it was very exciting and a bizarre ending. So picture this. The Jaguars are on the 1-yard line, it's late in the 4th quarter, and ETN is lining up in the backfield. Taylor only needed 3 points, and ETN was right there to plug it in for a 6-point touchdown to defeat Gretchen with time expiring. What happened was not that, it was this. I mean this, as you can see. I've been playing it. But what really happened was Trevor Lawrence slipped on the handoff, completely fell on his butt and panicked, and ended up finding a lane and driving it in for a touchdown, which eliminated ETN's chance completely and protected Gretchen's 3-point lead. I actually looked at some stats. I crunched some numbers to see how unlikely this was on my stat sheet. Since 2016, there's been 2,500 plays snapped from the 1-yard line that were rushes from the running back, and 57% across the league were successful. So it was more or less a coin flip of success. But it was also on first down. I'm sure if the Jaguars had the chance, they would, I don't know, run it all 4 times if they were on the 1-yard line, maybe like an out route. But let's assume they just ran the ball with ETN all 4 times and there was no out route or anything. If he did, it would be a 93% chance that it'd be a touchdown and Taylor would win if they ran him all 4 times. which is pretty likely. I mean, why not just punch it up the gut? Eventually you're going to get it. But instead, I couldn't find a stat on this, but the quarterback slipping and ruining the handoff, there's no stat for that. I can't search that in StatMuse. But I don't know. I haven't seen that in the end of a game. It's really easy to hand the ball off. So the 1 in a million chance that Trevor Lawrence is a doofus and falls down completely saved Gretchen and catapulted her to first place. She's 4-1 in that tie. Other than that, I mean, they both played well. They both were above 100 points, but watching that game was bizarre because if Xavier Worthy got her enough points, and all she needed to have a loss was an easy touchdown. Etienne could have done it. I'm sure if they did it 99 plays out of 100, Etienne is getting that touchdown. He's a great running back. He has strong legs. So Gretchen stole another win. She won by less than 10 points. That's huge for a playoff run. Good job, Gretchen. My last big thing is the emotional resilience of Sess. If you haven't noticed, Sess is 0-5 now. This was his first week getting above 100 points, which was great, but he ended up losing by 3 points. This could be blamed on a lot of things, but I think the most poetic thing to blame it on is this enigmatic play right here.
On 3rd and short. First down, DeMarcado off to the races. 20, 10, touchdown. Did he drop it early? Boy, that's going to be close. Oh my goodness.
I think this could just be a symbol. This frame right here could just be a symbol for Sess's season. He's been so unlucky. I looked up stats for plays dropped at the 1 yard line. There's only been 5 in the last 10 years. So only 5 guys have dropped the ball at the goal line to negate a touchdown because of their idiocy. I don't know what emotions were going through Sess's head. The post-game conference was grim and short. I'm sure he just wanted to get into the locker room and change, hit the showers. I think he is the only one who can explain it best with the Instagram post he posted after the game and after the press conference. I don't know if you can get much more succinct than that. So he lost by 3 points in 2 ways. If he started a couple of his bench guys, he would have gotten the win. Cam Little was a kicker he had 8 points, 4 more points than the kicker he started, would have won there. DeMarcado got chewed out on the sidelines and actually got hit by his coach, which he apologized for, but I don't know how you make that mistake. The Cardinals would have won that game even. I wouldn't doubt if he got benched next game and isn't going to really see any playing time for the next few weeks, maybe even the whole season. Sess got robbed again. He got really robbed 2 weeks in a row. His team did good though. Jalen Waddle is wide receiver 1 because Tyreek is out, so he got 20 points, and Darren Waller is becoming the best tight end in the AFC right now. I don't know how that career renaissance is happening. Justin Fields for the Jets somehow got 25 points. I think 2 of those touchdowns were in garbage time, but still he has the ability to get garbage time points. Ashton Genty did good too. You know, Sess isn't eliminated from the playoff picture. He just has an extremely uphill battle to climb. He could do it. 0-5, he could still do it. There's 6 playoff spots, but I think fantasy is giving him a 6% chance to make the playoffs, not 0. I guess I'll mention good for Yash, back on track, 2-3. Javonte Williams is still the highlight of his team. The Cowboys use him for everything. He got 26 points. I'm sorry, Sess. We're all behind you. We're all hoping for a Sess win. You know, keep it strong any given Sunday. Good luck. That concludes Simon's 3 big things. Just to recap the rest of the league pretty quickly, it was a normal week for everybody else. Between Max and Drew, I think Max, again, 1-4, lost because of a few unlucky things. Ricky Pearsall for the Niners got injured in the first quarter, gave him a goose egg. He ended up losing by 10 points. I think I put the blame on that unlucky injury and Mark Andrews not being used at all because the Ravens are terrible. Other than that, he had a good week. He gets Bucky Irving back next week. Maybe he can turn his season around. Drew is actually in the playoff bracket. All of her players did good, average, normal. Jamar Chase went above and beyond, though. He had his best week of the season, even behind Jake Browning. Maybe that's a sign of things to come. If Jamar Chase is clicking, Drew could just coast to the playoffs. That's pretty scary. The battle of the good little friends was Brandon and Siobhan. It was a really close score up to the end of Monday Night Football. They actually didn't score that many. It was 84-76. Siobhan underachieved again with a couple of her players. Brenton Strange didn't do good this week like he did last week. The Ravens had -4 points on defense. I think the big story for Siobhan is Omarion Hampton is going to be hurt for about a month. He was looking like the savior of her season and one of the strongest AFC running backs, but he tweaked his leg and he left the game with 10 points. He could have gotten much more. So Siobhan's going to have to find huge shoes to fill there in the coming weeks. Hopefully he comes back soon and Siobhan can get back on track. She's 2-3. Brandon's 3-2. He got a good win behind Bo Nix and Breece Hall. I think you can't not start Derrick Henry. That was Brandon's #1 pick, but I checked, is the worst first round pick. He's the worst, but Malik Neighbors got injured and CeeDee Lamb are out. But he is the biggest disappointment because he's playing. Injuries happen, but he's playing and he's doing terribly. The Ravens are 1-4, so I don't know how they're going to play the rest of their games to try to crawl back to the playoffs. But Brandon should be scoring 10 to 20 points more every week than he is because of Derrick Henry's failures. So we'll see what happens next. I don't know. The last matchup of the week was Tristan versus John. I think John is actually a really strong team, but he's 1-4 now. He drops to Tristan, who has the highest scoring team in the league behind the highest scoring running back in Jonathan Taylor and the highest scoring wide receiver in Puka Nacua. He has both of them. He drafted Jonathan Taylor the 2nd round and Puka the 1st round, I'm pretty sure. So that's what happens when your draft picks hit. He's 4-1. He's actually in first place in the whole league because he breaks the tiebreaker from winning and scoring the most points. He could really coast to the playoffs. He's looking great, barring all injury, knock on wood. John, I think, still has a good chance. He has the 3 top 5 running backs. I've been preaching this. I don't know if he needs to make a trade to get some good wide receivers because that's his weakness, but he has James Cook, Achane, McCaffrey, who all score over 15 points every freaking week. James Cook was an exception, but he'll be back because the Bills are really good. I guess the story is J-Mo has been terrible this year. The Lions have not been using him. They've been using everybody else. And Chris Olave is fine, but he's like a flex start. He's not a good starter for your wide receivers. So I don't know. I would implore John to maybe look for trades with anyone who needs a running back because you have a surplus and you really need to start a new wide receiver. I'm rooting for John. I don't know. 1-4 is not a good start for a good team, and it seems impossible. Running backs are so important, yet it's a bad start. I'm sorry, John. Good job, Tristan. You're doing great, honey. Lastly, for this week, I think instead of showing the standings, I'm going to start showing the playoff bracket because it's an easier way to see how things are shaking out. You know, we're 5 games through, which doesn't seem like that much, but that's a 5th of the season done. There's 14 weeks in the regular season. So I think that's an easier way to see who is going to be in the playing for getting the trophy, which I know you all really like. I like him too. The bye is for the best 2 teams. They get to skip the first round of the playoffs and play the winners of the first round, as you can see here. So as of this week, if the playoffs were happening, Patrick and Tristan would get the bye and go to the semifinals. So yeah, look out for that. I'll show it every week. This is the playoff picture now. I'm not in it, but Noah could keep the trophy for us. I hope that happens. Matthew. Here's everyone knocking on the door of the playoffs. There's still a lot of football to play left. I'll see you guys next week on ESPN. Thank you so much for watching the DFL show.